good day, and welcome to the Power Up. I'm your host, Tami Hill Thomas. So glad that you're joining me today as we get equipped, educated, empowered, and elevated together so that we can be the difference makers and world changers right where we are. Today's show is going to include an amazing guest as we delve into some needed topics around career transitions and how we can grow through professional development. But as we get started, let me first share something relevant that all of us need to remember, and that's our importance and how we can be the difference. We often share on this show how you can make a difference through donations and even through giving your blood platelets. The American Red Cross is always in need, and they don't just do assistance here, they help internationally. So we want to first remind you that if you're in a place where you say, everybody else is making a difference, everybody else is doing things, I want to as well. Come on and go on redcross.org. The Red Cross is in need always of volunteers to help in those disasters, of individuals who can donate. Just one blood platelet donation actually helps save 7 lives. 7, family. And you never know when you may be the one in need. Many of us also have rare blood types where there is a known blood shortage. Please take advantage of so many opportunities that you can, because if you're not feeling the needles and if you don't have the time to volunteer, you can also donate. They'll gladly take your tax write-off and assist with whatever's necessary as they show up in times when individuals have urgent need. Don't second guess yourself. Don't count yourself out. Just because things don't seem convenient or comfortable, oftentimes is the best time for you to think about doing something differently. Come on and go to redcross.org. There's also something else that they offer. The American Red Cross offers certifications and training so that you can be part of a life-saving team. You can be the one that shows up and is the difference, especially during those times when it matters. We often forget that we're not just on this planet just to be out here doing nothing, hanging out. We all are created right now to be the change, to be the one that shows up. See, we look for superheroes. We wait on the police and we wait on fire. But what if you're the one there before they can get there? Come on, family. You have the ability to be the one to help save a life. Redcross.org. They need blood. There is a huge shortage. They need volunteers who can help show up when people are in the most disastrous states. Hurricanes, even after car accidents, maybe just weather related where people weren't able to prepare, or maybe something horrible just happened, sadly, and you're the one that happens to be in the area, right? Listen, if it was you, you would want someone to be the difference. And if it was your mama, you would hope someone would care. Family, while you have the ability, be that one. Come on and make a difference where you are. www.redcross.org. They are a huge, viable American agency that is available. They are vetted, tested, and ready to help you. Hey, and it's a win-win. You're not just helping people, but again, you feel satisfied, fulfilled, and if you donate that cash, you get to write it off during your taxes. Come on and be that difference maker, family. As we're talking about difference makers, I am beyond excited to welcome a guest to join our show today. She is one who has been in the entertainment industry for almost 40 years. That's not talking about her age because she started really young. But she also has transitioned to use her platform as a voice for good, a very important cause that we're going to delve into. I am so honored to return to this platform and welcome Miss Simone Walker of Simone Walker Studios. Simone, thank you so very much for joining us today for this opportunity to connect.
I love that introduction. I need to take you with me everywhere.
Well, listen, we bring the best on this show. You are absolutely one of those in that category. Let's delve into some of the things folks might not remember since it's been a little while since you've joined us. One of the great things that I appreciate that your resume includes, it's not just the fact that you've been in radio and TV for all of, I mean, you started like young teens, like, right? Like you've been in the industry, but now you've in your own studio work have started pouring into young actors and actresses and really coaching them into how to take their craft to the next excellent level. Tell
Yeah.
us more about Simone Walker Studios.
So, so let me just be clear that the studio is the physical studio. We got shut down because of COVID, so we're seeking another location. But the work does continue. So I have one-on-one, and I do have group trainings when I do hold the trainings. It's specifically for people who want to get into acting but don't know where to start, don't know how to create a resume, don't know how to build a resume, don't know where to find work, the do's and don'ts of the industry. This industry can be interesting. Let's just put it that way. But your protection is most important. Keeping your purse closed, when to spend money, where to spend money, all those things a new actor needs to know to get their stuff, get their resume prepared, created, what to put out there, what not to put out there. There's a lot that you need to know.
That's amazing. It's amazing. I actually have heard from some who have been through your voice training. So you don't just start with just acting classes
Mm-hmm.
and just the how to have the perfect headshot resume. And like you really take the different details and make it plain. What made you launch into the voiceovers as well?
So I started at WICB, 1340 AM in Washington, D.C. as a radio announcer. I was the youngest radio announcer on the air at the time, did win the Announcer of the Year category one year in the Class International Classy Awards. And from there, after I left the radio station seeking opportunities in television and film in Atlanta, which that did not pan out the way I wanted it to. But I said, God gave me this talent, and so why not use it? So I started doing voiceovers independently, and I still do voiceovers for produce weekly announcements for churches, and then I hold trainings for people who want to get into the voiceover industry. It could be a very, very lucrative industry for those who really want to take that plunge, but you need to know the technicalities and the do's and don'ts as well, and in the business as well as voicing. So that I don't want to hold what God gave me as a blessing, as talent, and hold it to myself. It was given to me for a purpose, and that's purpose is to share and to uplift others and pour into others. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. How hard is it, literally, for someone to start in a path in the industry? Or is it just a matter of mentorship and connecting with someone like yourself?
Absolutely. It is absolutely it's very important to connect with somebody who knows the industry well enough to lead you and guide you and to walk beside you, because there's a lot of trainings out there that'll take your $600 and $700 and on one training, and you never see them because they have a big name, but they're not going to stay with you. They're not going to do the follow-up. They're not going to be available at any time to answer those questions to when you're treading in, questionable waters. Should I or shouldn't I? They don't have that connection to be able to reach back out to them. And that's something I absolutely offer. I don't just train you. this one day and to say, be on your way. I'm always available for follow-up, for conversation, for, continue to get you where you want to go.
That's phenomenal. And that touches into another big part of you, right? Like,
Mhm.
so you don't stop, which is amazing. There's like 10,000 parts to what Simone does. And all of it is giving. All of it is hard work. All of it is the thought of taking and elevating excellence in others. Okay. So in the entertainment industry is one thing, but then you shifted into helping individuals figure out how to also grow professionally in their look, in their voice, in their demeanor to get that job. What in the world? What powerful shift. How has that been?
It has been, anytime I'm able to make something, take what I have and pour into somebody else and get a positive result, it's always the best feeling because I feel like my purpose is being fulfilled. I just don't want to hold on to stuff and be selfish with it. Then there are a lot of people that say, I'm not sharing because why, I got mine, you go get yours. Well, I got mine to share for somebody else. So it has been amazing. I do communicate with some people who have taken the classes, and they follow up with their struggles, and some, it's not for me, but it's all about learning what's good for you. So those who have succeeded in it and I see what they're doing, it's a really good feeling.
That's amazing. And you yourself are an actor,
Hmm.
having been on oh man, I saw the show. I'm sorry.
Which one?
Right. I'm trying to think of where they were stabbing you or chasing you. Which was the one?
I've been on the ID channel, Investigation Discovery channel, on a couple of those reenactment shows. And there's a lot of them that I have been on, but I don't know which one.
One of it's going to come to me as soon as we finish our interview was mainstream,
Yeah.
not First 48, but one of the like you were okay.
So Investigation Discovery has different shows. They have Jack Be Deadly, they have Nightmare Next
Yeah.
Door, they have For My Man, and so I've been in a couple of those.
That's the one. It was for my. I knew I was
For
trying to
My Man.
remember.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
for my man. Yes, that's the one I saw. Man, it again taking, following your heart, following your dream, executing your skill, but building it also so that it pours into others. Excellence is important to you. That word in particular is one you share often. Tell me about it.
I think if you're going to do something, do it right. And so that's why I paused on a couple of things that I had started because I didn't like the way it was the way it was going. So I needed to step back, take a shift. When I started the Simone Talk Show, it was during the pandemic. I had a computer, but the camera was horrible. The computer camera it was so horrible, but the interviews were absolutely amazing with amazing people. So I haven't even put out some of that footage, in which I want to, because it shows my beginnings and where I've gone from there, and my growth. But it's uh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
I can imagine. And I appreciate the fact that you, in your own CEO-ness,
Mhm.
still continue to see the need to help elevate others to be that executive. You've been a CEO for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
You've worked now with a coaching industry that helps clients across the country to literally build a resume. And one of the trainings that you give regularly is really highly sought after. So I'm going to put you on the spot, which it is not on the spot for you. You love this, but if you could, interview skills, virtual interview tips is a really high demand training that you conduct. How, especially during the pandemic when it was huge, how to
Mhm.
get the job virtually when people are seeing you. I gotta ask, could you share for our audience some of the do's and don'ts that are the keys in your trainings?
Yes. Some of the do's. Always be prepared. Have your documentation beside you, have your notes note taker pad beside you, have an ink pen that works, be in a quiet space where there's the least noise filtration that you can find in your house or your space, children, animals, family members, and have your camera and the way you look as best as you can. Not everybody is in the same position to get an external camera, but do the best that you can. And your background, everything behind you is viewed by whoever you're talking to. So your personal pictures, we know we love our grandbabies, we know we love our husbands, our wives, and we're all booed up and kissing in the back. You don't want your background to be a distraction to who you are. And I learned that quickly from having a virtual doctor's appointment. And my doctor, as soon as the camera came on, she was in my house. She's like, "Oh, I see you." I said, "Oh, wow." so most computers have background screens or screen backgrounds. And so you can choose and you can even add some. If you cannot, try to find a plain background that you can have in front of a curtain, as today I have some of my equipment up on the wall, because I'm in my voiceover studio. But have a plain background. If you can't, you can always adjust your camera to just show you in that background. Be somewhere where the light is in front of you, because you want to be illuminated. Light behind you puts a dark cast of darkness on your face because it's illuminating behind you. And make sure you're center of the camera. Don't have your head down here conversing with somebody, or you're off to the side, or you're so close that they can see, up your nose or something. Have you're right in the center of the camera. And so that makes a difference when someone's interviewing you, because they're seeing the work that you've done to be prepared for that interview. And always ask the questions or let them know, "I'm not ignoring you, but I do want to take notes. I just wanted to acknowledge that. So if my head is down, I'm taking notes," so that they know that you are taking notes. Communicate with them, because they're people. You want them to know what's happening. So those are just some of the tips that I would suggest.
What I love is that these are the exact same tips you share with folks who are going through entertainment interviews.
Yes, same thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We've had table reads where people are laying in the bed with what they consider, I'll say, t-shirts on. It's not a good look. And then the children, they have the camera on the bed with the children's legs. It's not a good look. It's distracting. So it's always being prepared. Whenever you're on camera, be prepared.
Thank you for being those tips that have reminded me of a few things. I should do that. Thank you. And so as you continue to work one-on-one with people, what has been some of the best parts that if you could tell others that you've learned from some of those you coach, whether entertainment or professional?
Live your dream. Live your dream. Never give up. So many people are out of work right now, and it's a tough time, but it's not the time to clam up and shrivel up in a corner. It's time to get to work. You have skills within yourself that if you can't do that job, then do the job on your own. Make your own space. If you don't know how to do that, meet up with somebody who has started that. I don't know how to market myself. What do I start? Well, let's start with who you are. Let's write the plan out. Always write your plan out. So it's you keep moving. Don't give up. Live your dream, because this is your only life you have. And I don't want to be stuck in a job where I'm just not happy. I'm miserable getting up and going to work every day, but it's paying the bills. That's not the life I want to lead. So I seek what I want to be happy, and my peace cannot be for sale.
Woo. Okay, so I got to go there then. I love interviewing you. You make it so super easy. Thank you, because as you delve deeper into your uniqueness,
Mhm.
And as you mentioned earlier, your faith starts to elevate. So here's a little known fact a lot of folks may not know about Miss Simone. She is a PK. That's something we both have in common. And so faith is important also in part of your journey, but it also becomes the hardwired part of resilience and what makes you go forward. You
Yeah.
shared a few minutes ago about the pandemic and its impact on your actual studio and some of the work you may have put into your physical location. So
Mm.
you know about transitions.
Yes.
Um, what helps you during those times of having to transition that you would use as advice for someone else?
Never be afraid of new beginnings.
Mm,
We spent over a year building that studio to what we wanted it to be. It was a voiceover studio. It was a actor's space or classroom space and a photography studio. It had 3 offices, a bathroom, and it had all that we needed. And then 2020 had a big open house. We did the floors, we painted the ceilings, we redid the bathroom, we did a lot of construction. We did a lot of work in that studio. And in one phone call, you can't go back in there. The world is shut down. And so all that you've done is taken away from you. So it's I believe that everything happens for a purpose. And whatever that purpose was, whether it was God was protecting us from something that was um, about to happen, something worse, that spot had something about it, that God had something better for you. Um, it you just can't give up.
right.
And so there's a purpose for everything to happen. And so we take that opportunity to say, hey, wow, you know, that didn't work, but virtually I still have this. I had just bought a $4,000 camera kit to record actors in their auditions and people who want to record their monologues. And I did classes with talent managers and directors and producers that actors can come and ask questions. So I had this equipment. I'm like, God, oh, now I have this equipment and it's just sitting here looking at me real pretty. And it's like, well, what are you waiting for? You have a camera, you have a computer, you have what? You have your stuff. What are you going to do with it? And then my own motto comes to me, live your dream. So what is stopping me from shifting? I can't do it that way. So let me do it this way. So if the world is shut down, I have equipment that I can't use right now. I have a computer. I have a camera. Boom. Record people online. Learn how to set this system up like this. StreamYard is wonderful. You got people side by side and it's not lighting up when someone learn those systems. So there's nothing stopping me from doing what I want to do and living my dream. It's just learning that shift. And don't some people are it's like it's just too much. You can't get blood from a turnip. So unless you put the work in, it's not going to generate anything. I produce commercials for people who have businesses. And so that's the way it's like, okay, now the world is open back up. Now you can use your camera equipment. I started the Simone Talks show. So now, boom, all that was going on. So there's nothing that should stop you from moving forward because what is your alternative? What is your alternative?
Mm. You're talking good, sister, and you are a living example of transition.
Yeah.
And yet, life still goes on. We
Yes.
still have transitions we're in now, and yet don't know what it's going to be in the future.
Yeah.
It's about life and the perspective of it being a transition. I heard you say years ago and actually stole it from you. I use it every time I public speak. And you mentioned how life is like a movie, how there are scenes that are constantly coming, how there's a climax, but there's also sequels, and
Yeah.
how important it is to know that being stuck isn't a place to stay. It's a place to re-energize. Tell me how important it is to draw from that entertainment part of you when you have to turn it on in so many different ways.
Well, I mean, I would always say, if, as long as you're not stuck, you know, you can keep moving forward as long as you're not stuck. So, for entertainment, I mean, you know what, Tam? I forgot your question.
I so love you. I so love you. You are one of the most professional, keep it going sisters, and you just showed a realness. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Could you repeat that, please?
But listen, that's literally what you just said in an interview. Come on and work it out. That's literally what you just said. Be very transparent and honest with the person interviewing you and stay where you are. Listen, I get it. And I thank you for making that just come alive. My question was,
Yes.
the fact that entertainment is so in you, just like your spirituality, you're able to just turn it on. What advice would you give to someone who has to be ready? What should they have ready to turn on? I'll reframe it to say that.
So, I mean, being you, you know who you are, you know where you are, you know how you are, and you know how deep what you do is in you. So if I have to be an actress, I can turn it on just like that, because I know what it takes, because I've done the work to know what it takes. In my spiritual life, it's not an on or off, it's just always on, because it's who I am. You can't tell me not to believe, and I say, okay, and no, I'm going to believe. And so even when losing a job, it was like, you're so calm at this. I said, well, I know a God who's bigger than this job. So I'm not going, they don't deserve my tears. And the anger should be temporary. So because you're human, so you feel what happened, but the anger is temporary. But I know a God who is bigger than that. And so that's when you have to start speaking those things that you've learned. If you learned all your life that God is a provider, he's a keeper, he's faithful, he's honest, he's true, he will never leave you. But as soon as something comes up, it's like, oh God, what am I going? You just forget everything that you've learned. Now, I'm not saying don't be inhuman, because we are. I can shed my tears, but I don't stay there. As long as you're moving forward, you know you're not stuck. Don't get stuck there. Deal with it and then shift. Now, what do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And so that stays on because you have to stay mentally aware of what's happening around you. It's like having a kid. You can't, if you're a mother, you're always a mother.
Right.
You can't put the baby that you just can't do that.
Right.
It's always a mother. I don't care if they're 5, 1 years old, or 30, 40, 50 years old. They're always going to say mom.
Right.
So it's always, but you're not always acting as mom. They're grown, they're on their own, but you're still mom. So I stay true to myself, stay true to who I am. I don't put on performances to be somebody else outside of the theater, outside of the film. I am who I am. I forgets the questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Simone Walker. You can DM her directly. You can learn more about her courses. She is a direct coach through entertainment and career. And I promise you, it is an experience. What you see now is the personality and the person of Miss Simone Walker. You can reach her on Facebook at Simone Walker, or through her YouTube channel. Check out some of those videos, and Instagram, The Simone Talks Show. I so look forward to the upcoming episodes. I know that you're working on. You certainly bring some amazing guests that others just don't have the opportunity to even know about, many in radio and in entertainment. So thank you for all that you do. Simone, we're so glad you came to the Power Up today. We promise to come back again.
Power up, sure will.
Family, stay tuned. There's more after this.
Bye.
Welcome back to the Power Up. We're so glad that you're continuing to ride with us today as we want to focus on much of the questions and emails that we receive and the DMs that have to do with the life shifts that happen. Not easy, certainly. Change is comfortable, but we become excellent in our zones that are outside of comfort, right? If you stay in your comfort zone, things are normal, then you're going to be right there. But when you come out of that and start challenging yourself and growing, or life starts challenging you, it shows the true character of the winning spirit that makes you you. I'm so grateful that Simone joined us today, a true trailblazer and humanitarian. When I say pours into others of all ages, just to help them build their dreams to become vision, is so important. And I'm grateful that she stepped away to be able to pour into us today. Now, what are you going to do with some of the advice she shared? What are you going to do in this season where life is not always going to be stuck where you are? Stuck becomes mental sometimes, where the rain is still going to come. Snow may come depending on where you live. The sun may rise depending on where you live for so many months out the year, right? It depends on where you are, but life is still going to go. The clock is still going to turn. You have choices. Do you lose that time and what you can maximize in those moments? Or do you come on and make life loud and on purpose? I appreciate some of the tips that Simone shared as well, especially with those interview skills. Come on. One thing you walked away from this show with today was remembering that when folks see you, they see everything else around you too. So you want to be very conscious in what people perceive, because folks do draw conclusions by what they see first versus what they hear. So let's talk about it. Transitioning, especially in your career. You know, many times in our stories, we often want to be the best, right? Or many of us just want to be able to get that check. Or there's some of us that are just starting out and you're just looking for that first time. So you're going to have transitions. The good thing is, as long as you're living, breathing, in your right mind, have the abilities, you can continue to move forward. I always share how I am so in awe of our Olympians of the Paralympics, those Olympians from around the globe who compete with human disabilities, family, missing arms, missing legs. Many of them have short mental capacities. Their distinctions in what they can do are limited compared to those who can run maybe faster, or those who can do things better because they have all their legs, or they have both arms, or they have a higher mental capacity. I am in awe of the fact that they train for years, every day, consistently, with not in front of people, just so that they can show up at the Paralympics for one race and give it everything they have against the best from other countries. Some races last 2 minutes, if that long. Some last seconds. I watched a video the other day of a gentleman. It's a sprint race where the individual is blind. He's blindfolded and he's tied to someone else who has sight. And it's a sprint. They take off out the blocks just like anybody else. They run paired, connected. The one runner is talking to the blind, and they both cross the finish line together. But can you imagine the training that must go into physical endurance, the weights that they have to still bear, the breathing techniques, the stairs, what they have to do to get their lungs at capacity, also that for a few minutes or seconds, they can push beyond anything they've ever experienced before. Those who sprint with no legs and have artificial devices, and yet they get out there when the gun glows off and give it all they have. Family, if you are in position where you can draw from the best of you to make the next level better, you owe it to yourself to try. Don't look to be like Simone Walker. I couldn't. When I saw her on For My Man, and I said, oh, wait a minute, wow. There were acting skills that I'd never seen before, but as a wonderful individual, she then goes and pours and pushes people to be that as well. You need to connect to a mentor or connect with a coach, someone who can pause space to help you process, or even a therapist, someone who can help you see what happened that has you in that space where moving forward is hard. Come on now. It's time to be real with who we are. And I'm grateful that she pointed that out as well. You owe it to yourself to be the best you. People ask me a lot of times, because I do events and I'm drafting courses and I'm an author and I often speak and I do podcasts, and then I hold down a job and I'm a trainer 24/7. And they ask, Tami, you always into something, because then I'm coordinating a 5K over here and I'm doing different, right? And why don't you sit down? There's two responses I have to that. Because the first is, what are you doing? Don't be so concerned about what's happening over here, honey, that you letting life go by. Now, that goes really quickly, though, because my response is, I'm trying to go to the graveyard empty. If there's more for me, I want the more. Here's the thing. My message is the same. I'm just excited that there's different platforms I get to share my message on. Everybody's not a reader. There are some people who are. So now the thoughts of my words through a book help elevate that individual. Some people are studiers. They're educated. They always want to be certified. Great. As this curriculum gets released, I'm excited that they will grow themselves. And some folks, they pay money. They want to go to events. They want to hear someone who makes them feel differently when they leave and shares insight and information. So when they're in my presence, I get the opportunity to electrify the atmosphere. And it doesn't matter whether it's 2 folks, whether it's 2 million. You have to delve into what makes you you, into what your dreams are. And so going back to career shifting, for folks who I've been in this job for 40 years, thought I was going to retire. I started in this job young and I only have 10 years in, but I wanted to do another 25 so I could get a pension. I started here because I knew that I could be a manager, the next level. And now they're totally absorbing my whole department. Okay. I want to challenge you. The greatness in you has done what you were there to do. It's now time to take that greatness to the next level. Because here's the thing, there's no going backwards. That's not an option. We're not just going to put the car in reverse and start going into a depressed state and I shoulda, woulda, coulda. Oh no, time is too important. Remember, that clock keeps going. So I don't want to look back in 2 days and say, man, I wish I had. or this time next year and say, I should have. When that opportunity shows up, I should have done that. There are job fairs all around. Is it really going to hurt you to take a few copies of your resume and a few hours out of your day and go see what's waiting for you there? If nothing else, than to connect, than to learn of opportunities. Don't limit yourself in this transition, because transitions are just that. It's an action. It's movement. It's continuing. And it's a wonderful thing to know that it's not a stop sign. It's not a stay sign. It's not the end of you, baby. Family, be encouraged today. Get your power to get you and your focus where it needs to be. Now, you're speaking to a coach. I'm a counselor. I am. And I have the opportunity to be a mentor oftentimes, an advisor. But I also have a mentor, a few, coach, counselor, therapist, financial advisor. Anything that can help Tami be better in my life, I want to show from the seeds I put in the ground now, often just from a conversation. Like Simone said, have that pen and paper ready, because at the least you're going to do is gain insight. The least you're going to do is be able to present yourself in whatever light you want that to be. Here's a great thing about a transition, especially when you're leaving a job. The new folks don't know you. You get to be brand new. Oftentimes we get in places and we get stuck, and that's our identity, and woe is me, and ho hum, right? Hey, honey, come on, wake up. You get to be new. A new you. Go get certified in some things you thought about. If you see someone winning, you've always wanted to be like that, or see like them, or think like them, and speak like them. Come on. There are apps out for everything. Can grow your vocabulary. YouTube University is what I call it. There's enough videos out there through TED Talks and different type of conversations that while you're grocery shopping, you're increasing your knowledge base free of charge. And yes, there are free certification programs out there. Many, many, many. Coursera, Google. Just go on and say free certification. Use the information age that you're part of to help make you better. Yep, there's even Chat GPT and all the AI support. Tell it what you're trying to find out, and it'll spit information back to you to help you on your journey. That's why AI is a very good assistant, not to do the work for you, but to help you as you maneuver and grow. But again, write it somewhere where you see it. Only up from here, not going backwards. And if it means that they just shut down my entire office, it means now I have to finding a new job, a full-time job. The skills I did not have, I now need to get. I didn't have to use artificial intelligence on my job. I just did it. I was the expert. They came to me. I signed off on everything, or I knew where to find everything, or I handled this project every year, or I was the one that they flew over there to be the presenter at the conference. Well, if all of that is done, time to be a brand new you. What do you want to do? If training was one of the best parts about you being an auditor, then maybe consider taking your audit experience and looking for training jobs. Ooh. If accounting is what you've been doing for 40 years, 30 years, straight out of college, but you've always wanted to be around kids. You love being at schools and talking to the babies, and they need accountants and those type of skills in the academic field, colleges, at county school systems. Maybe the medical field is something you've always wanted to touch since the pandemic. How can you take your experience, all the things you've touched, and take it to a field that needs you? Not saying it's going to be easy, but where you've come thus far hasn't been. You've been through sickness. You've been sick before and you got up and went to work. Come on, get up and go to work. You've had to bury loved ones where your heart was hurt. You cried a lot. That separation is real. Bereavement does not have a time limit. Okay, but you still got up and you still went to work. Come on and go to work. There were times when you went through interview in the past and didn't get those jobs before you finally got the right one. Or you had to take test after test from different things before you finally got the right space. Come on and do what you have to do to grow you, to get to where you want, need, should be. The next level of me. And while you're doing all of that, come on, make money off your gifts. You know how to bake cakes? I will put out there with the quickness, baking 10 cakes today. Who wants a cake? $20 each. Come on, get you $200 real fast. Help with those bills. Wow, you're in transition. You love making sandwiches. There are construction sites everywhere. Figure out what you can do to also maybe consider entrepreneurship. Again, why not? If I've got to start looking for jobs, I can also figure out what it's going to take to open a company in my state. What do I need to do? Who do I need to file with? How much are the fees? What are the annual requirements? Okay. And then what do I need to do to get that EIN? Or why not? You have time. Come on. Get to work. Get to work, not just pursuing how you can get a check from someone else in the meantime. In other words, that job you might want, that career elevation opportunity, but how you can start making your dreams for yourself come true. You ever wanted to author? You got the right sister. There are so many opportunities to become authors at reasonable prices. People think it's astronomical. It's not. But you got to start by figuring out, as Simone said, who are you? Who are you in this season, in this space right now? Not who were you on the job that you no longer have. Who are you? The hard part of you, the light part of you, the exciting part of you, and who do you want to be? That's what you pursue. That's what I'm putting my energy into right now. That's what I'm going to make happen. Come on, family. The best part you get about this show is not just love and humor, realness, right? We're going to real talk here, but also some encouragement. Yes, you can. Why not you? Right? If you see everybody else doing it, why can't you? Yes, you might have to put those trips on pause while you make sure you can eat, while you make sure you're housed. Yes, you might have to put some of the big things you planned in a pause position, but that's paused. That doesn't mean can't ever happen. It means that you're shifting your priorities right now. And go to work. Go to work every day. Get up, show up for you. One of the things that I was sharing with a coworker who experienced recently a pause in employment is I said, okay, so what are you doing to move now? You used to say, man, I can't work out. I don't have time. I got the baby in the morning and I got the baby in the evening and I had to get the day and I have this and I have all day. I can't do it. Okay. You would watch me be walking around the job for my lunch. I would put my music in my ears and walk around and get some steps in and then go. She said, I can't. I just don't have it. Okay. I'm not arguing with anybody. You got to do what's for you. But now there's a transition happening. So there's space. So what are you doing now? Because you could actually walk in the mornings before you get to work. You could actually get on those emails or start sending emails or updating your resume or listening to those courses or putting what you're going to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and going getting some steps in, if that's what you're trying to do. But complaining and excuses are for people that don't want elevation. People that elevate, millionaires and folks who are always vision forward and always connected and always seem like they're on fire and always, those folks are always thinking about what's next, always looking for the next opportunity, even if it's volunteering. Because volunteering now means on my resume, I'm coordinating this. And now I'm connecting with other people and saying, listen, I'm looking for a job with the people I'm connecting with. And they're going, we're hiring at our ages. Come on, no limits. But you've got to do it. Simone spoke life to us today, shared her journey, even of having to start over and still continuing to find new ways to use her investments that's now helping to sustain. Multiple streams of income is a wonderful thing, but it takes courage. It takes boldness. It takes you saying, enough with the old, let's go with the new. Why not you? When you use my bathroom, my guest bathroom, when you come to visit my home, it's an experience. I have words all over my walls, from ceiling to floor, on all my walls. I have words because God put it on me one day and he said, somebody's going to come in here and sit, and they're going to be dealing with something mentally, and they're not going to talk to people about it. They're going to do what I often do when I go through and I fix my face and then I go out and don't talk about it, right? But here in a minute, even if they just come and wash their hands, they can get some hope. I don't make other people do it. I just did it. And you see words that say, you are enough. You see words that say, start over, try again, think differently. Don't quit now. Yes, you can. You see words that say, it's your time. Stand up, rise up, show up. Whatever in that moment that person needs to see. I also have on my wall, being of Christian faith. It says, with God, all things are possible. Sometimes I need to see that to remind me that their no is not my no I'm going to accept. I'll take it as that's not the avenue. I'll take it as they're not the ones to do it with. But in me is the drive to do this. No is not an option. I'm going to keep going. The winners that come in, that still show up and they've won in their county races or they've won in those lower races, right? They beat 7 other people. They beat other folks that were in that field. The winners. They beat other people. But it doesn't stop the other racers from saying, well, I lost that. I'm never going to try again. And even the winners haven't always been winners. For those who are sports fanatics, some of the best athletes say they've never had 100%. They've never had a rate of 100%. Made every single shot. Won every race. It's not humanly possible because there's all these other people who are out here who are great. What you do get to do is learn from those in front of you. We stand on the shoulders of trailblazers, of greatness. One of the best stories I loved was in the United States. The basketball is one of our best sports. It certainly is one of my favorite. And Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant, was a fan of Michael Jordan, who both are champions in their own right. Well, the young Kobe Bryant said he used to shadow and follow and watch video of Michael Jordan. So when he went into the pros and was finally able to guard Michael Jordan said every time he would go to block me, he'd be asking me, how do you pivot off your foot? He'd be saying, what do you do? Your spin, how do you do that? He said, in the middle of a game, he would be asking him questions and then copying him. Okay, I got it. I got it now. This is how you do it. When he be blocking him in the middle. In other words, it wasn't competitive that I can be better than you. I'm going to show you. It was let me get the best from you to add to the best in me. Because as I go to the next generation, when Michael Jordan retired, Kobe Bryant went on to win 7 championships, MVP for at least 3. Family, I hope this Power Up segment has reminded you you don't have to stay. It's time to shift. You don't have to be stuck. It's okay to have your foot in the mud for a minute. It's part of life to have the wind knocked out of you sometimes. And if you've ever had the wind knocked out of you, that is a hard feeling because you stay down and you can't get back up until your lungs and diaphragm fill back up with air, right? So you're down, just wait, trying to gasp. And then once you get it, you get back up on your feet. Okay, so there's times when life is going to do that. When I buried my dad, the wind was knocked out of me. And I knew he was transitioning. I was there in his last breaths. Still, I needed time before the fog of bereavement lifted enough for me to really function. But then you show up and you do what you have to do with all the grit, all the anger, all the emotions, all the endurance, all the perseverance, all the fight that you've used in other situations because you won before, so you'll be able to do it again. You have the power to be the difference in your situation, and not just you, but those around you. There are folks watching how you gonna handle this. Folks watching. You all that on the job. You at the top on this. You always did this. Okay. Now you've got to tap into that and keep winning. Show up every day. Wash your face, get up, put on some clothes. If you need to go work out first, do that. Get your mind ready and then go to work. Come on, start thinking about different things that you've wanted to do. Start considering what it takes so that you can win at life. Again, something Simone said, you only get one. So how about make this one the best experience you could ever have? Lows gonna come, highs are gonna come. See, we love to be on top of the mountain. We love when that extra money's coming in. We love when people are patting us on the back. But you got to get through what makes you fulfilled in life so that you can prepare for those ups again and certainly be resilient enough to make it through the lows. Family, we are so glad you joined us today. Thank you, Simone Walker of the Simone Talks show. Feel free to touch base with her. I'm trying to tell you, powerhouse sister, and has so much more to her. Feel free to reach out to her on Facebook and on Instagram. Send her that DM message to try to get a consultation. She's all over the place and busy, but it's worth having an opportunity to try to connect and check her out on YouTube at the Simone Talks with an S show. I look forward to having her return again. Also, remember, those of us who feel like we can't do anything, come on and check out redcross.org. You can do more than you know, just as a lifesaver. Be prepared. Come on and give blood. You can go sit down. They'll take care of the rest. And 7 lives, family, 7 can be saved from your one donation. You can also sign up to be a volunteer to help your neighbors in those times of emergencies and be real difference makers, or just donate. Just send that money. Just write a check and be able to write it off on your taxes. Still a win-win. We always thank our first responders and those who put themselves in harm's way. We appreciate all that you do, our medical professionals, our teachers who pour into our babies and youth, and those who are our caregivers that care for those who have trailblazed. To the seniors all over, we love you. Don't stop. Long as you have breath and life, you can be that author, that speaker. Come on. You get up and keep going and make a difference as well. We need what you have. To our military families, and our veterans, Thank you for all that you sacrifice so that we can certainly disagree, so that we can live and have an amazing experience. We appreciate all that you do. We'll see you next time, family.